Welcome again to the Rockford Homes How-To Series. My name's Keith. Today we're going to talk about concrete cracks. And this crack that you can see is about an 1/8 inch wide, 1/16 inch wide, but the sure indicator that there's a problem is if you do have water coming inside of those cracks. Again, on a newer home, you may have darker spots where there's moisture on the wall that's wicking through because your grass is not yet taken, that after a year or two when the grass is set, you want to make sure that there's no water actually coming into these cracks and that you don't see water on the ground. How we're going to go ahead and fix these cracks today, we're going to use any old concrete style caulking will work. In this case, we like to use the Loctite concrete no sag. For that application, we're going to go ahead and use a caulk gun. The other tool that we're going to use, in this case, I'm using a putty knife to smooth out the caulking. So anytime we're doing any caulking, we want to cut that tip at an angle. So I'm going to put the tip in at an angle and I'm going to depress my handle, which then cut a real nice diagonal tip on our caulking. You need to have something to poke the membrane that's inside of this tube in order for the caulking to come out. We're going to put the caulking into the gun, then we'll depress our handle. That'll give us the opportunity to now put the caulking out and put that tip onto our crack using even pressure on the caulk gun. And I've done this for years, so yours might not look as pretty. That's fine. We're just going to put it into the crack like so. Again, we're just trying to depress that caulking into the crack. This does a really good job of it. And when you get in an alcove, that's when you might use your finger to come in and actually tool that caulking down. And that's all there is to it. Another type of crack that you're likely going to experience during the life of the home is any floor penetrations. We're going to take a brush and we're going to brush whatever might be in the crack out of the crack. We'll go ahead and put that caulking into that crack in the same manner that we used on the walls. In this case, we can put it on a little bit thicker because it's on a flat surface. And then when we come back with our trowel, it'll push it all into that crack pretty nicely and dress it up rather nice. And then it's nice and dressed. I'd like to take a moment to mention the cracks that are generally supposed to be in your concrete. And those are the expansion cracks that have been cut in when the foundation and the floor were put in. Those expansion cracks are designed to allow your floor to move a little bit as it continues to settle out. One of the main concerns we have about a driveway is spalding. It chips the top of that concrete off, sort of in just little chips and pit marks. This driveway is freshly poured, it looks beautiful, and we want to keep it that way. How do we keep it that way, you say? In this case, we're using a V-seal. We're just going to evenly disperse this over top of this driveway. We're going to pump it up to add some air pressure to the product that's in there. Then it's got a trigger on it. Most pump sprayers have a little adjustment for how much comes out. We're going to start down at the base and just slowly work your way across it in an even spray. You want to try to apply this when the surface is dry already. If you seal it with the water in it, that may cause a problem too, and it may cause you to have bad adhesion with your spray. Okay, so that area, as you can see, is darker than the others. Once it's sealed, it will make your concrete darker than it was initially, but it's very beneficial to seal those areas as well so that you don't get moisture and cracking in those cement surfaces either.